G'day and welcome to the 46th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. This week we're joined by Sazio1984. We talk about the raid, we talk about loot, we talk about the trials of Mida, and we talk about the upcoming faction rally and who we'll be pledging our souls to over the coming months. It's dead orbit, but our reasons might shock and appall you. Anyway, enjoy the show. Cheers! G'day and welcome to the 46th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. It's true, all of the best shit happens before and after we finish this podcast. I, as always, am joined by Mylan Games to the left of me and Slothy down below. How are you?
You have to wonder what is said before and after that is too rude to actually make the podcast.
Literally
to be
everything.
Honest.
We have like a little session where we just try and get it all out of our system before we go live.
Yeah.
This week we are joined by none other than Sazio. How are you, man?
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Wonderful. What an accent too. This is, I can tell. Whenever we get bombs on here, it gets that like little bit more loose. I think there's a common thread in the humour that we all seem to just jump on. But you know, it is what it is. So, just quickly recap this week. There's not been a whole lot of new stuff come out. So we'll probably just touch on that later and get straight into meeting Sazio for the first time, right? We haven't had him on before. I think we'd all like for him to introduce himself to us. Who the fuck are you and what do you do, man? What's the go?
My name is Sazio. I'm a Twitch streamer and also a part-time YouTuber. I have a background in writing, but I also have a keen fondness of the Destiny community in general. I co-created a website that tries to focus on creating community focus and basically spreading the support of the Destiny community as a whole, whether you're a big-time streamer or an up-and-coming streamer, or just basically anyone associated with the Destiny community that's created any sort of content, whether it's streaming, YouTube, podcasts, artwork, that sort of thing, really.
Yeah, so you work with Wild on that.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone out there, at least anyone who's creating content that hasn't heard of it. And, when the podcast first got added to that, I was like, oh, holy shit. It was like a little stamp of legitimacy. We matter to people on the other side of the planet.
I don't think you mentioned the name. It's the DestinyContentCreators.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's commonly known as DCC, but the full title is Destiny Content Creators.
So that link will be in the description.
I got some questions about that.
Oh, here we go.
No, not like. I remember when it first came out. Did you get any backlash from people that were like, "Hey, I should be on this," and they weren't like included? Can you talk about that a bit? Or did it not really happen?
What happened is the web, when we were actually adding the people to the website pre-launch, we were like asking specific people if we could put them on the website, use their content just to showcase them and everything. We had people going, yes, that's fine, everything. And someone just got a little bit excited and accidentally revealed that they were on a website. So we had to like rush launch it live. And I'd say 99% of it was overwhelmingly positive. We had a couple of sour eggs and bad apples. So basically like, why is my streamer not on it? And why am I not on it? And blah, blah, blah. And we had to tell people basically this is a two-person process. This is not like some multi-person thing where it's like 100 people working it. It's literally myself and Wild. Whenever we get a chance away from work and family life, if we get any sort of spare time, we're on the website, whether it's adding artwork or including words by myself. It's basically a very independent website. And it's just a case of we try to put as many people on as possible every day. We're never going to please everyone. That's just the way it is, because we're always going to get people going, well, if my favourite XYZ streamer's not on there, I'm not going to support it and blah. And we had a couple of people on Twitter that was basically trying to make themselves big, trying to talk negative, and they were just shot down very quickly by other people.
That's human nature, but I mean, you've only got to look so far as like Captain Twaz whenever he brings out a new community shirt. And there's like the three people who are really shitty that they didn't get on it. Oh, it's a fucking... They shouldn't be doing it and all of this. Look, at the end of the day, especially with your website too, because it's constantly growing and evolving. It's not like it's set in stone. So if you're not on there, just submit your shit and get on there. It's fine. You don't need to be a fucking dickhead about it. Just go for it. Get involved.
Exactly. It's like I had someone send me a comment on the website a couple of days ago. They were going, why is this streamer not on the game and blah, blah, blah. I said, because he's a PC streamer and Destiny's not on PC yet, so how can I add him? And he's like, well, you should be there already. He's got X amount of views and X amount of followers. I said, well, if he's never played Destiny, how fair would that be to other people if I put him on there just because he's your favourite PC streamer?
Yeah, exactly.
And some people go through one end straight out the other. They just don't clock on the fact that this is a Destiny community website. I'm not going to put someone on there that mainstreams League of Legends. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
We've just spoken about this before, and I'm not going to go back into it because we end up just yelling at the camera. But isn't
that every podcast? But
well, I mean, like more yelling.
Right. Yelling louder at the camera. Right, okay.
Yelling loud. No, it's like people have that incredible self-entitlement that is just so rampant along on the internet because a lot of it is that anonymity that they have. That's just part and parcel of what like I feel sorry for yourself and Wild for having to put up with that shit. I feel sorry for fucking Twads for having to put up with that shit. Like it's bitch.
It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's a very positive thing for the community. You can go on there and basically search through by any kind of subcategory you want. Like, if there's any kind of content that you want to, get more of into your eyeballs and ears, you can look it up. And you get, it's interesting because it's sort of the first thing that I noticed about it too is that like it tells you where people are from too. Like, this guy's English. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Whatever. Like, a lot of Twitter, you just sort of see these names. There's no real context for people. They come on and say things, and I'm like, finding out a bit more about the people who make the content for me is probably, I host a podcast where I fucking talk to new people every week who do something in this community. So it's clearly something that I enjoy. So for people to be able to get out there and, this guy's, if I went through there and I went, this guy's Australian, I'd follow him like that just because he's Australian. And I know that's probably favoritism or whatever, but I'm interested in finding out what people near me are doing too. So I think it's a very valuable tool and will grow to be more and more powerful the longer it's there. And it's a credit to you and Wild for spending the time and getting it done. Like, whose idea was it? Did you both come up with it together, or was it?
It was initially Wild's idea. She started it as a solo project herself. She wanted to just basically spread the word about up and coming streamers because she felt there were certain people that wasn't getting credit for the amount of hard work and dedication they put into creating content for the Destiny universe. So it was almost like a thing for her where she was just trying to speak. She was trying to be the voice of the voiceless, so to speak, at one point where she was trying to basically let everyone know that there's more than one or two certain people in the Destiny community.
Yeah, that's cool.
And where she has a design background, she felt very comfortable creating the layout, the artwork, the UI, the HUDs, all that sort of stuff, the interface and everything. But she didn't feel as comfortable with the writing aspect. She felt that she was worried that her writing aspect wasn't going to be as good as the design work. But I'm not saying she can't write. She's a very good writer as well. She just feels more comfortable.
When you say writing, do you mean coding or do you mean like creative writing? Like
creative writing. Coding's exceptional. She's a qualified graphic designer and everything. She's got experience with coding, so she's very good in that. But in terms of creative writing, she feels she's better with the design sort of thing. And I've known her for a long time now. I've known her for nearly 2 years, and we've become close friends and everything. And I'd say about a couple of months before launch, we were talking just in general in a stream, and she was just talking about she just reminded me that, oh, you have a background in writing. I said, yeah, I'm a qualified journalist and writer and everything. And she basically said, would you be interested in a project? And I just basically went, yeah, without even knowing it, because I knew if it was something, because it was something attached to Wild Thing, it was going to be of top quality. So it was like a no-brainer for me. And I just love writing as a general. I find, someone like Softman's going to think, oh, Sazio's doing crap here, but I actually find it easier to communicate to people via writing than I do via speaking. I don't know what it is. I find it easier to write than to speak, and I've always been more creative in that aspect. And when it's a case of just writing about certain people or writing about just stuff in general, I'm just like I'm in tunnel vision. I can just go for non-stop. And
tell me about how. So you're a journalist, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a qualified writer. Yeah. So
what drew you to Twitch, right? Because that's almost the opposite.
Yeah, I think what it was is I was completely alien to Twitch. Wasn't even remotely interested. I wouldn't say remotely interested. I'd say I was just not aware of Twitch as a media aspect, social platform until Destiny launched, actually. And it's just because I come across on Twitter, a few of my friends were like doing retweets of Twitch streamers and everything. And I started to get the interest of watching people play the games and socialise with others talking about certain things, not even just Destiny, but just in general, topics, debates, real life issues, so on and so forth. And when I found a certain streamer I felt comfortable being a part of, it gave me that niche, that interest to pursue it myself. I just tried it out once or twice now and again a little while back, and I felt comfortable with it. I don't know, I think it was easy for me to do. And I'd say since the last summer I've been doing it on a regular basis, and I just feel comfortable with it now. I really do. I mean, I'm not going to be the biggest streamer ever, and I'm not going to have millions of dollars in revenue. That's never going to happen. But I just enjoy doing it as a social activity and as a hobby. I really do.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, more power to you, man. That's what a lot of really good streamers do. They do it because, well, except for Matt, he's too holy for the rest of us. But no, we.
You know what? I think we're going to have to institute in the podcast. I'm going to have a little counter here that I hit. Just an under the bus count. Every time someone gets thrown under the bus, just ding, ding, ding. It'll get to the end of the episode. We're like, oh, we got to 17 this week. That was a bad week.
Just use
shots.
Use the ding from Callus's cup in the raid. That'd be the
ding. Yeah, someone sample it. It's done. Right, done. So, Saz, what part of Destiny is your jam? I mean, are you an everyman? Are you into everything? Are you, what is there something that you're particularly into? Like, what floats your goat?
I would say I can do everything. So I can do PvE, PvP, and all that. But if I was to name myself to one specific point, I'd say it's raids. I love the raids, really. When I first started doing raids, I felt uncomfortable playing with other people because I never had a huge online experience gaming wise before Destiny, so I always was a solo player. So when I'd done my first few raids, it was very much LFG, we're trying to find people, and I was very shy and quiet, and you're thinking, Jesus, Sazio, shy, behave yourself and all that. And and I was just basically trying to learn everything, and I'd say it wasn't until the Dark Below DLC launched that I started to actually be comfortable around other players to play with on a general basis. And I just enjoyed hearing other people teach other people how to raid, how to play the game in general. And I started to get confident. And now, I say it's like nearly 800 raids later, I actually enjoy helping people now. I mean, I have my own specific raid team, Team Moist. It's a funny name, I know, it's dumb. It's a great name. It's a tongue-in-cheek reference because we're just funny and load with each other, but we don't take it personally. We like our banter and everything. But outside of our raid team, a few of us are all streamers, and we do try to do as much help within with our own direct community as well as just general people as a whole. Because I just enjoy helping other people, because someone went out of their way to help me when I first started in the game. So it feels nice to be on the other side now to help someone else who's new to the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
that makes sense.
It's one of those things. Like, admittedly, I'm not. I don't know. I look at you guys and I'm kind of envious in a way that, you know, you and Sloth now to a certain extent, like out there doing this positive stuff. You know, getting people through the raids, helping people through new content. And it is new. It's only a couple of weeks old. Where I'm thinking, like, the only real times I've ever done that were like when a piece of content was wrapping up and someone desperately needed a clear. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll come in and help. Because I've always been the potato that's been carried through. But, you know, that's just me. I'm a PvPer. And not a very good one.
Not a very, yeah. I was kind of fucking add that.
I think it's my attention span's about 15 minutes. So that says a lot. It says a lot.
But there's also when the raid was first released, like Mollen and I had our team, but you were on a raid team that actually took quite a while. Not to anyone's detriment, not to anyone not knowing what to do, but it was just those long raids, and you were actually running with Sin as well.
Yeah, Syntax 7 very kindly invited me to the launch raid, and what was a nice thing about it as well, it was actually launched on my birthday, so it was almost like a birthday present to me as well. So
wow.
I took that very, very kindly, and it meant a lot for him to actually ask me, because I knew there was other people in that stream he could have easily picked who are exceptional players. But for him to trust me, it meant a lot. It was actually, I felt very grateful for it. In terms of our experience, I'd say it was from start to finish, it took us nearly a day, like 24 hours roughly. We started off with 6 people. Some people couldn't turn up for other parts. I'd say we went through more or less like the equivalent of 3 raid teams. So we're talking about a good 15, 16 players overall. But me and Sin were like the 2 that went from start to finish. So it felt like an accomplishment for me and Sin to basically just persist for it all and just basically be stubborn and just not give up, basically. The sense of relief and just pure euphoria when we finished it was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
That's what. Were you in the team when we got it done, Matt, or did you have to dip out? Like all jokes aside, like
me and you were there a little bit had to leave.
Yeah. But they took us around about the same time too, and like more power to it. Like didn't quit, didn't reset, like didn't drop out or anything like that. You were there doing it, and like we know how long that those parts could take.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal. So I fully understand that, man. Like fucking well played to you. Well played to you. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
It's always what time was it for you when you did the raid launch?
I think it was 6 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Right,
UK.
okay.
The first day we done the Castellan bit, we done the Royal Pool. We got through that pretty easily. Our problem was the Pleasure Gardens. We got stuck on that, and I think we went 12 hours the first, like, not in terms of the Pleasure Gardens as a whole, but we went 12 hours in the first day. So I went from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I'd say we spent about 9 hours in the Pleasure Gardens, and I'm not gonna lie, when I finally shut my eyes, all I could see was them damn dogs, and it was like, I can't go in there.
Do you think there's been a more ironically named piece of content in video game history?
No, I can't think of it. It's like when someone said to me the day after, when they finally said this, they went, "Saz, did you enjoy the Pleasure Gardens?" I went, "Never say pleasure with that content ever again, please." Because I hated it. I mean, I've done it a couple of times now, since, and it's like easy now. I know how to do it. It's pretty straightforward.
It's funny that's almost the easiest part now. The dogs, like it's probably I would say it's the easiest part now.
All about knowing.
I was saying
at first, people are played it hardcore.
I was saying it when we actually completed it. It's the easiest part of raid, but it's the most frustrating part because there's so many things against you that you have no control over. Whereas other parts of the raids that are harder to do, but they're actually more straightforward to do, if that makes sense. It's sometimes you're relying on pure RNG with the pleasure gardens because you could literally just stand still and it's like, no, dog sees it, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It's a very glitchy part of the raid for one, but for two, it's when you start off at the beginning, you're very sort of going, yeah, and then you like Matt got his like little stopwatch out, and he's like, all right, let's time it from start to go. When the dogs get released to when they start howling, how long does it take for howling? And like, it's good now that the community's actually come together and gone. I say the community, like Datto, has come and gone. Hey, all right. So this is how we did it. This is how we got 140 fucking stacks on the dogs. We killed them in 3 hits with punches only, like that sort of thing. So it's like,
exactly. They're like, we will have our revenge on the doggos. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, I was watching a stream the other night where the Pleasure Gardens was 2-manned. That is quickly. Yeah.
Yep.
It was not even 2 weeks. Like, I watched it. It was just like we went from 9 hours struggling there to people really 2-manning it in 20 minutes. It's just surreal how quickly things evolve.
That's such a Destiny thing, but is that thing in other games where people make this content that just kind of like humiliates everyone else in the community? Like people soloing raid bosses that I haven't even beat yet. Like fucking hell. Oh, I love it, but it's
that's
awful.
Pretty brutal. Shall we move on to some news log if you want to key up the thing?
Oh, let's hang on. Hang on. We need to do the grand friggin' the
grand entrance.
The grand entrance
to the Tacky Casino.
To the Tacky Casino? What Tacky Casino? What are you talking about?
The Leviathan raid, the Tacky Casino.
All right, let's go. Yes. Oh, that went so badly. That was poor. Anyway, we might.
God!
Yeah, I clicked the wrong button.
Everything just went bad. It's fine.
That transition was so strong. It just broke everything.
Yeah, it was. It just crushed under the weight of expectation.
The first thing that people have been talking about on Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and all of the things that people talk about Destiny on is Trials of the Mida. People constantly using the Mida multi-tool, which is one of the easiest Sodex to get their hands on because it is like once you get the mini tool, you've got the quest. So it's quite simple. You only need like 5, I think it's like airborne kills, 5 rare scout rifles. And more or less what it is.
I did read a Polygon article complaining about how hard it was to get 5 scout rifles to dismantle. And I'm like, you know what? You and the bird that wrote the fucking Kotaku article about having no time to play Destiny because you're a parent. You could be fucking friends.
About that? Is that in the fucking?
I haven't even raised it. We brushed on it last week. I just kind of fucking laughed it off.
Oh, did you?
Shit. Anyway,
it's very frustrating. It says I've played a little bit of Trials, and I'm not sure about the other 3 of you, but I've played a little bit. And holy son of a barrel! If you're not using a Mida and you're not 100% on point with the weapon that you are using, you are going to get destroyed. And second to that, there is like the Mida, and then you've got your auto rifles, so your Prosecutor, your whatever the fucking the other auto is that everyone's using.
Urinal's gift.
Urinal's gift.
Yeah, urinal. You're a urinal. No, but and that's like, and people have been meta breaking and all that sort of thing, and that's fine. And the Last Hope sidearm, which Darvis has brought up in chat, like it's getting destroyed by them. If you're a good player, you'll be able to work your way around it if you're not using the meta. but every trial streamer that I've picked, like, that I've dropped into, and it's because it is the easiest way to level, like, to make the skill gap shorter.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But it's
So,
also the
like,
map, right? It's also like a perfectly suited map for Mida. Like it's not that, you know, when we get a different map, I imagine that will change, or do you think Mida will stay because it's too powerful?
Depending if it's a close range map or not. Like if it's that bloody catch map, Mida won't be a thing. Like it'll be.
It's going
close
to go
range.
to auto rifles. You know, it's going to be Euro's gift.
Yeah.
When Charles went live on Friday and they had that Alter of Flame map before they had to change it back because of the glitch issues, I was watching and it was still being used because of the way the map was designed. I think when you have mid to long range maps, Mida is going to be the go-to regardless. But when we get the closer maps, you will start to see more things like the better Devil's Hand Cannon. You might see more Alter rifles. I think, like you said, I think the problem is with the Mida is it's come from Destiny 1, so people already know how powerful the weapon is.
Yep.
So they feel comfortable immediately with it. And 2, it's so easy to get, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
It's so if it was like really hard to get, there wouldn't be an issue with the Mida multi-tool. And if people had got it, you'd go, okay, you went through all that effort to get the multi-tool, fair play to you, blah blah blah. But basically, all you have to do is play the game. Literally, just play it and you get it. So I think that's the main problem.
And also the thing that sort of got me about the Mida as well is that if you use any other weapon, especially if you're using Warlock, say with Blink, so a Voidwalker or something like that, your radar takes fucking forever to come back up unless you scope it with the Mida. And even without using Blink, your radar comes back up so quickly with the Mida. Like you don't even have to worry about it. You could run along. If you got a Mida and a Mini, you could run along scoped in and be, relatively quick, and always have your map, always be ready to shoot.
So this is sort of my question, right? Do you think that was the best map to showcase the release of Trials of the Night?
No. But yes. On 2 different accounts.
I'd say
the best map in terms of the context of the map, because it's this like far out there. It's set in that like edge of the what is it? Edge of the universe kind of thing.
Yeah, it's such a great context, but like
for the actual mechanics of the map, I don't like that map. I don't like it at all.
Do you know, like it seems like such an alright, like I don't have an issue with the Mida multi-tool, and I think that map, people are just it's a square block fitting in a square hole. Mida multi-tool is the right decision on that map.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have avoided a lot of whinging and bashing if they had something that better illustrated competitive Destiny 2, and they put so much work into balancing this game. The first Trials map was like, use Mida multi-tool. Done. They just shot themselves in the foot, right? Like it's just like it's so weird.
They're also using these weapons that are so easy to get because they're easy to get. There's no if, buts, or maybes about that. So the more that people play, the more they'll find something else that sort of better suits their play style. But like you said, like it's at this point in time, it's Trials of the Mida, and they were just going to have to put up with that.
No,
people may not even get rid of it.
Man. It's the path.
It is, that's exactly right, and that's always been the case.
I don't have an issue with it.
You know what I did this week? You know what I did this week? I went and got my Mida because I'm like, fuck this. If I can't beat them, join them. I don't care. I have no.
I mean, I've been a Mida guy since Destiny 1, so I'm not going to be one of those guys that jump. I've used it. People know I use it, but I can see both sides of the coin, so to speak, with this. But at the same time, if you feel comfortable with it, just use it. I mean, if you're going to worry that much about KDs and ELOs and all that, then Destiny might not be the game for you, because at the moment the competitive side or the esports side of Destiny is non-existent until they find a way to structure it to make it so it is one. The problem is everyone that's treating it as a comp mentality are playing the quick play, because the comp side of it is not even there at the moment. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Actually, touching on that. touching on that, I just want to bring up a point that I've noticed. That survival mode, it goes for fucking forever. Like, if you're in a slow game, it can go for 25 minutes. It is painful. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They need to fix that. They need to drop the rounds or, like, reduce the time limits or something.
I think they just need to lessen the amount of revives you get per round. There's too many respawns. It should be a case of... Go on, sorry.
Yeah. No, go on, Sazio. No,
I was just going
right,
to say, it just feels like it just feels like an extended version of the original Trials of Osiris. It literally does. That's what it is, really.
That's the thing with the game modes and moving into what you were saying there before about the esports and all that sort of thing. The esports is not going to be on console, so we don't have to we'll have to wait and see until it looks like on PC.
Yeah.
And B, just fucking relax. Don't worry about elos.
It's true.
Come on, there's people out there that are into that shit. That's fine. Be into that shit, whatever. But it's not that type of game, really, man. Like, no, it's really not.
And that's if you're into that. If you are into that, that's fine. You know, whatever floats your goat. That's perfectly okay. I'll play PvP. I don't take it all that seriously because I have Overwatch and CS:GO and fucking God knows how many other first-person shooters that are actually fucking first-person shooters for the comp circuit.
Can you please put your competitive gaming glasses on now?
No, because I'm not a competitive gamer.
Can you please move your microphone closer to your mouth so that we can hear your mouth breathing, please?
I think Sazio's got enough for us for the three of us.
Hey, he's all right. Come on, we can't be too mean to our guests. Just each other.
I'm just giving him shit because I give him.
It's good. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
But so back to the trials of the Mida, like we're talking about that, and you know, like. So there was a countdown on Eternity after there was a bug on the Altar of Flame allowed players to escape map boundaries. Now, I didn't see this. Could one of you fine gents, please explain that to me?
I haven't seen actual visual proof, but apparently there's a spot on the particular side of the map where you can jump into a turn-back area and it puts you in a hole, in a specific glitch hole where you can just stay there. And you don't get turned back. You can't get seen, but you can still shoot on the opposing team.
Oh, wow.
So basically, it's almost like you got a permanent head glitch, and they can't hit you. That's what I've been told. That's what the supposed.
So I need to look this up because I need to use that to exploit it so I can get lore footage of the Trials of the Night. I promise. That's the only reason. That's lore footage.
Fuck.
That's the only reason I'll use it. I promise to get
nothing sus.
That's disgusting. But I mean, is it like that? That is disgusting that people are using that. Not like it's disgusting. Like more serious issues, which we're not going to focus on. But it is very muchly the Destiny community to go, oh, exploit, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
there's always going to be someone out there who does it, and it's the same in any game. There's no, I don't think there's a gaming community out there that would be like, no, I'll put my hand on my heart. I shall not use the exploit because I am a human of integrity. That happens nowhere on the internet ever, and never will.
Yeah, no, I mean that's we've seen that so many times in Destiny, and it doesn't phase me. Sorry, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I think
can we sidetrack there and talk about bugs in Destiny 2? I don't know. Have we spoke about this yet?
Do you mean
is it in the
bugs as in like the fucking giant one on Titan, or?
No,
that's been keeping me up at night. I don't like bugs.
A good thing I've seen is when it regards to the change to the Trials of the Nine map that was abruptly changed. People were going, if they could change the map that quickly, why didn't they change the issues with the Nightfall this week in terms of the Prestige stuff? Because the Prestige Nightfall is effectively broke. You can't even attempt to finish it or anything.
Is that the maximum time reached glitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, and that's what people are going to saying. If they can change the Trials map on a whim, why can't they change the Nightfall on a whim? But I can see both sides of that as well.
Into it. We don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But do you think D2 has been a lot more buggy than D1 launch?
I can't see. That's the thing. Like D1,
you can't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't remember.
Maybe
I can't remember. I can't honestly. But I am surprised that there is not more polish, though. To be honest, with some of the bugs, that's sort of what's got me. You're a robot.
Yeah, the odds. I think.
Hold on. Go back and say whatever you just said because you just became half exo.
I don't know. Okay. No, I was just saying because I've had a couple of times where I'm doing public events and the chest has not appeared, but that's it. That's it, really. I've not had real bad glitches. But
you weren't doing them with a Titan, were you? That just fucking shoulder charged it.
No comment.
Yeah. Wiki showed me how to do that, and I did it once, and I'll never do it again. I promise much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But the glitches, like I don't remember much of the D1 like initial vanilla release because A, I was working a lot, and B, I was drunk a lot. But it was a the glitches. So not so much. I don't want to say glitches, but I don't really have a better term for it. You know, like those ones where. Like you drop a Nova Bomb on someone in PvP, like on top of them. Do they die? Do they fuck? Like they're not at all. And then like some of the doggos. The doggos is probably the most irritating glitch-wise, the most irritating part of the entire Leviathan raid because you could be standing well off the path from away from the doggo, fucking accidentally hit B, stand up, and holy shit, the fucking doggo. Has turned he turned around walking back the other way. So you're getting up to walk towards the plant. Doggo turns around and goes, "Oh shit!" and fucking bloods you. You know, or howls at you. You know, like it's just
I think when it comes like Destiny or Bungie has had a lot of practice with raids now in D1. And I think, if anything, should have been extremely polished. It should have been the crown jewel of D2, which is, for PvE players, the raid. And there was nothing... I mean, the thing is, when people are going to spend so many hours on that, it's really disheartening if you get a wipe because of some silly bug or whatever. So, I mean, the bug at the moment that's been pissing me off is... I think it gets triggered when we swap someone out, but... everyone keeps dying in Callus's room, and you have to kick someone to restart it. Otherwise, you have to go all the way back out, all the way back in, and restart the encounter from the central hub. That's ridiculous.
I haven't encountered that glitch, but I have heard of it, yeah.
I've seen it.
It happened with me on Snipertons, and then I thought it was me because I was the Aussie in a bunch of US players, and then it happened to me yesterday. Same deal. With all Australians, we couldn't continue the encounter. We had to go all the way back out, unless we wanted to kick someone every death. Every team wipe, we could kick someone. It would start the encounter. They would have to rejoin. That was the only way we could get around it.
That's shit.
So the common denominator is you, Matthew.
That's
solve the bug, man. Don't raid ever again. Good. I saw one. Courtney Pink copied me into a tweet probably a week ago now that they actually had 7 people in the raid. Just glitched 7. Like someone just joined while they were like there was like 2 people I think joining at once. There is a photo. It'll be on my Twitter because I retweeted it. But check it out. It is 7 people in the raid. Like there is a person looking at 6 other people in the raid. And I thought, how the fuck do I do that? And can I get 8? Like, I need that kind of shit.
I saw a picture of a trials match where there was 5 players on one team against 3 on the other. I was like, what the hell's going on here? It was like,
that's just good matchmaking. Good job.
Yeah.
Sniperton said to me because I had to leave. He was doing a raid run. I said, did you get it? And then he said, yeah, we got it. Only because no ads spawned in the room. It glitched, and there were no ads in Callus's room.
So they just pounded him.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
It was a fucking RDO, Matt. It was an RDO. They all had a day off. No worries.
There are some serious. There are some serious. I think you said it, Matt. There are some serious bug issues and lack of polish. That being said, I think for the most part, outside of some sour grapes on Twitter and so forth, they've been really enjoying D2. I know the four of us have. Stopping watching Log stream, watching Matt stream, stopping by and watching Sazio stream. You know, we all enjoy it, and and that's a good thing about it. So, like, it was good. The bugs aside, it's a beautiful game and all that sort of thing.
I think even Destiny 1 had its bugs right up until the end. Like, remember when you used to kill someone in a Crucible and their like Titan mark could stand fucking vertically, like it was some erection from the ground, just like shit like that. It just never went away. So. It's for me. It's never going to be perfect. It's a game. It's noughts and zeros, man, and zeros and ones. Sorry, just everywhere. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think the disclaimer is, I would not know where the first part of starting a game would ever be, and how difficult it is to find bugs and fix bugs and blah blah blah. And I'm on a soapbox. You're saying, why don't you fix it and make no bugs?
So easy. It's so easy to come out and say, fix your game, or go to Reddit and just go to that toxic cesspit and be an absolute penis over there. But or you can.
So what you really think, Sloth?
Or you can, well, I mean, that's what I.
Reddit is a cesspool of garbage right now. It's embarrassing. It is actually embarrassing.
There was a post on there, and I went I look at it every couple of days, probably, maybe not so much as the last week, but. There was a guy had an article, and he's just like, the whole thing was just the first week of this fucking subreddit after Destiny 2 release. This guy had never played Destiny 1. He's like, this is such a nice place to be. And then in exactly a week, pretty much, it just went, man, everyone got angry and just started hating again. And I'm like, well, kind of that's just part of the way this community is.
Yeah, the honeymoon's gone.
Yeah,
the honeymoon is definitely gone.
It's fucking over.
No, the honeymoon was over the fucking the first 2 days. I legitimately saw people complaining about Destiny 2 within the first fucking 4 days of release.
I have someone on my friends list on PlayStation who's already said, and I quote, I've got nothing to do in Destiny 2. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
He says, I've got all my characters to 305. I said, well, that's what you get for no life in the game then. What? I said, what was the rush? I said to him, what was the rush? Oh, I wanted to be raid ready. What, by having 305 characters? He's like, yeah, but you never know. I said, dude, I went in there at 280 and I was fine on one character. Oh, but I was like, I'm not listening to it.
Yeah, no. It's at the end of the day, like I know people who rush through the story, and this is what you say to those people. What happened in the story?
Yeah, because they've got no idea.
Tell me something specific about the story, and I'll back off. But until that point in time, most people are just like, huh?
Oh, that guy, the end game and then power level.
That guy I mentioned, he has not even finished the story. He done the bit where you have to get the spark for one subclass.
What,
and
the
just
first
went
mission?
Yeah, and all he done was then go on public event farming to get the 20. That's all he did.
So he can't even get in the tower?
No.
What a fuck.
He's basically been doing...
Who is this guy? I've got nothing to do in Destiny. I don't know. Finish the story, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Okay. Just I don't know. Anyway, so the next order of business on the news feed, even though we got a little bit off track there, ladies and gentlemen, is the raid order mix-up, which some people did call. I didn't even hear about it until I was like, oh, hang on, we're going to fucking doggos first instead of the baths.
That was
which was kind of fun. So that seems to change every week. So this upcoming reset, it should be the Gauntlet first, then the Gauntlet first, doggos, and then the baths, which is good. It's a little bit of change. Like you can go like if it's not new content. It's definitely not new content, but it's a new way of looking at the raids, which is appreciated from my end anyway.
Yep.
Well, when's Prestige coming out?
That I just don't know.
We haven't heard anything yet.
It's rumored to be next month to coincide with Iron Banner releasing, but it's just a rumor.
Because I saw that the PlayStation trophies, something was leaked, and it had the names and the badges for the Prestige.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the emblems. Yeah, I saw that.
The emblems for the Prestige mode. So definitely will be. Well, I think confirming there will be challenges for each encounter, very similar to what we've had previously.
Yeah, there was 5 emblems, so I presume it's a case of 1 for each challenge, 1 for defeating Callus, and then something else we're just not aware of at the moment. A secret thing, even.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy that there's going to be the challenges? Personally, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like it forced you to play anti-cheese. Because, everyone figures out the really easy, the lowest common denominator way of doing everything. And then the challenges come along and force people to move off that.
It extends the life of the raid by putting challenges in. Granted, it's not going to last forever. People will get bored of it after a period of time, but it would die quicker if there was no challenges, because people would just I've got my armor, bye bye, see you later. That's anything to extend the life of any sort of content in a game is going to always be a help. Always.
Actually, can we go off on can we break on a tangent again? Again, I know that's rare here, but it's as people who have done the raid, i.e. Matt, Sazio, and I, and like you did you complete the first encounter when you attempted the first time?
I've got to get through Callus, man. I've just got to finish it off.
Oh, okay. Right. So one thing that's kind of frustrating for me is the new loot system.
I was going to say that is literally what I was going to say. Yeah.
I'm not pleased with the you get given tokens, because on every completion of the raid that I've done, I can't speak for you, Sazio, or you, Matt. I've gotten the same fucking weapon. I've gotten the same pulse rifle, the raid pulse rifle, and the raid auto every damn time. And that's from the fucking raid engram from Soraya Hawthorne and from the raid itself. I think it's absolutely not ideal. I can see what they were going for. I can see what they were going for. So like instead of getting the same shit from the same boss every time, like you can get your tokens and all that sort of thing. But if they were going to do that, they should have had. I think they should have had. Let's go. You've got to buy certain pieces of armor.
See, I don't know
rather than the RNGs, you mean?
What happens with the tokens? You go to the bot from Callus, and it's just reputation, is it?
Yeah, it's just the rep. That's all it is, man.
And I think.
And then you get an engram.
Yeah, you get an engram, and it's just a
raid engram. Okay.
Yeah, I think the reason why they've done that though, because it's almost like it's that encouragement to keep going, because people see that bar and they're like, I'm so close to finishing that bar. If I do another raid, I can finish that bar. It's that visual drawing you in, basically. If they didn't have that reputation thing towards it, I think they were worried that people would be like, once I got my armor, or once I got this, once I got that, I'm done.
I think exactly that. Yeah.
I think it's that visual encouragement. It's like drawing people to keep going. And I think that's why they've attached that to every single
It's such an artificial way to extend the life of the raid.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly pleased about that. I'd loved opening a chest at the end of an encounter and going, holy shit,
reward.
I didn't get fucking Callus tokens and a fucking legendary engram.
Especially the way loot explodes these days. Like, it is one of the most...
Right?
Imagine purple, be fucking Prince and turn up, purple rain, man. Fucking go for it.
I felt sorry for a friend of mine, because he'd done a raid the other day, and all he got was one set of shaders, like ×3 shaders and tokens. That was his entire raid, was just tokens. And I felt bad for him. I did.
Well, look, the basic, like, premise of a raid is you have this hard endgame encounter that requires your full attention to be working seamlessly with 5 other people. And when you get through that bitch of encounter, there is a reward at the end. And that makes that 5 hours okay. When you don't beat Callus, and when you spend X amount of hours on X counter, and you get fucking tokens, you want to throw your PlayStation out the window.
That's an unwanted dick in the mouth.
You need the instant reward. You need the fucking gambling machine. You need to give something.
Yeah. That instant gratification is definitely what made completing the raids good, especially the challenge modes on the for the first lot of raids in D1. For the revamped raids in D1, when you got a Fatebringer, an exotic. For me, it was a legendary Fatebringer. I was just like, holy shit, I got one, and splooged everywhere. But I didn't. Just disclosure, I didn't. It was very muchly a painful situation when we first got through the raid and we got fucking Callus tokens. That is not ideal. That is not ideal. I don't like that. I can see why they did it. I can see why they did it for every other vendor. So if you level up Zavala, you get Vanguard weapons and armor. You level up K, you get. Oh, sorry, K doesn't have them, does he? So you level up the Banshee, you get weapons and armor from all pools. I can see why they did it, but it's not been implemented very well.
It really should be that your first run through, right? Your first run through, you get loot on a character. You get loot, 100%. You get fucking loot. Then to reward people who are out there sherpering and helping people through the raids that have probably knocked over their 3 completions in the first fucking day of the week anyway, there should be tokens. So that they can go and they can cash them in for something. There has to be a reward system for people who are out there doing the grind, helping everyone else get through it, as well as that.
Yeah,
to get to the end of your first completion and get fucking tokens, I'd spit it, man. You know what I'm like? I would be filthy.
Yeah.
There would be headsets
I
thrown.
think there is a good system there somewhere. I don't think it's ideal now. And I think you should get the loot, and I think those tokens could be used really, really well. Like if they add some really crazy shader that you can only get in the raid, and maybe you can buy it for 500 tokens. Then like the Sherpas and stuff like that, they can just keep grinding those tokens, and they can have this shiny shader that shows they've done the raid 10 times, all right? 50 tokens per raid. And that would keep me going, to be honest. If I could buy something with the token that was uber expensive, and I know I could go in, complete, and just keep gaining those tokens, that will do it. But you need to get the loot for everyone else who's not a fucking raiding machine.
Yeah, they need to better incentivize how to keep going with the actual raid. Like I said, I can understand you guys saying that it's trying to keep with every other NPC that has a reputation mark, but I agree with what Matt said at the start. The raid is the raid. It's completely different to everything else. It should be the end game of the content. It should be treated differently to how you are rewarded and how successful you are in the raid. I can see both sides. They just need to if they can fine tune it and tweak it to a point where it improves everything and helps everyone out, fair play to them. But at the moment, I mean, you could just imagine it when it gets to prestige mode raid. If you're going to go through all that hard work and you're still getting tokens in prestige mode. Jesus, that's what...
Well, look, hold something just thinking about it. Jeez.
Maybe this is their plan. Maybe challenges always gives you loot. Or maybe prestige mode always gives you loot.
That's a fucking cheap way to go, force people to do the challenge mode. That was the way it was. But if that's the only way to be guaranteed loot, rather than... gone are the days of going into the raid and getting a pair of fucking legs on the first encounter and going, fuck, I'm going to put them on because they'll help. And then being that little bit better prepared for the next encounter.
See, that is the one of the best moments in raids is you know when everyone just becomes completely incapable of listening, and everyone just, oh, I just got this, I just got that, and everybody talks all at the same time, and then all of a sudden everyone, you can see in their menus, everyone's equipping the new weapon and the new armor and oohing, ahhing, and looking at this and looking, like that's completely gone. Like that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. No,
that was a bonding moment between a team that just spent that much time in an encounter and got rewarded with loot, and they put their shiny gear on. Like that is one of the euphoric moments of a raid, and I feel like they really missed that now.
I mean, admittedly, there's also the converse to that, which is like when I didn't get a Fate Bringer and everyone else got
yeah, but that's funny
but still,
too.
I mean, it's drama. Well. Like, you know, there's the fucking you know, like there's always one guy having a meltdown for getting garbage, but at least he got something. He didn't get fucking Tarzos to go and turn into a vendor for fucking street cred. You know, like who cares? But
it's frustrating to say the least. But Ben,
let's move on.
Just one more thing to the people who who are listening and have not completed the raid or have not attempted the raid, please do so. It is a fucking amazing. Like regardless of the rewards, it is an amazing raid. It is the mechanics when they work right, and it's not as glitchy as Kingsfall. At least not for me, but it is an amazing raid.
Yeah,
please, I really like the raid. I like the mechanics. I like it a lot.
It's become my favorite raid. It's in terms of actual mechanics and gameplay, it's a masterpiece for me. I love it that they can improve the rewards. It could be possibly perfect for me. I just love the way they've approached it this time.
There you go.
I love the color palette. Is just I fucking love that color palette.
Yeah, the visual
golds and the purples. I love that shit, man.
The visual fidelity of just the intro alone. When you're walking up that long bridge path, do you see the loyalist guard standing there? It's awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Which people troll people with all the damn time.
Oh yeah.
I may get to the top and throw a pulse grenade at the Colossi.
Scumbag, because they're so hard to get past as well. They're so hard to get past once they get activated.
All right, well, our last news point was the randomness that happened at reset. So basically, the roadmap went out the fucking window. There was a whole heap of stuff happened. Trials was still up for a few hours after reset. There was all sorts of crazy shit going on. As Saz mentioned before, the Nightfall this week in Prestige is, for any mere mortal, functionally fucking impossible. You know, I'm all for there being a challenge, but it seems excessive. You know, I'm sure someone's done it, some smart ass out there. But there was a whole heap.
Someone's done it, but it's hard.
Everything just kind of went askew, and I don't know. Does that seem very un-Bungie like to you dudes? Given that, you know, they've not historically been very, very good at managing these things. It just kind of took me off guard that, you know, there was this madness of a few hours where everyone's like, oh, the fucking, what was the Flashpoint was meant to be Titan, wasn't it? And it was IO or something like that. It skipped the week, and there was just, you know, it was I don't know. I think it was a bad look, but I mean, it didn't really affect anything. You just go to the other place. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's particularly un-Bungie?
I'm starting to realize why they delayed PC. I'm starting there was a lot of shit they still need to sort out. I mean, it's the same topic we were talking about before with buggy stuff and a little bit less polished than I guess what we're used to from, you know, coming off the back end of D1 where most things worked. I think, you know, we sort of have that as this new standard, and we sort of forget that when we have a new launch of something. But like, you know, even like frame rate, the frame rate issues have really sort of surprised me, to be honest.
Yeah, it all comes back down to the glitches and all that sort of thing. It was very frustrating. It was
like, you reckon that's going to be fixed? The frame rate, is that something that's fixable?
No. The frame rate will not be changed on console.
No, sorry, I'm not talking about frame rate. I mean, like, you know, when you get like a public event.
And a lot of shit happens on screen.
And a lot of shit's happening.
The screen tearing and everything.
Chugging. Yeah. Like, will that change?
Nope. That will not change.
I think they might be
See,
able to
that to
refine
me
it.
is
They might be able to
arse.
refine it in terms of scripting and things like that. But
Yeah.
it's kind of odd to see a fucking brand new game be subject to that. And I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Matt, is that, like,
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
a few
that's
times
what I'm
when
getting
it
at,
chugged,
yeah.
and I'm, wow. Like, okay. And it's not that there's, like, you're not in these big fucking grand spaces, too. It's like, it's around where fucking, what's his name is in the bell tower. You know, that kind of area is probably the worst for it for me that I've experienced anyway. You know, like just the fallen, there's a lot of particle effects going on. I think we had maybe a high value target moving through a fucking public event at the same time. There was a bit happening, but not in the order of like, I don't know. I mean, it's almost like it's not resourced properly or something. Like there's bits in the raid that are way more frantic than that don't do it. And then it kind of, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's a, I'm sure that it'll be being looked at. I'm sure it's not something they'd be happy with.
Same with the music, man. When the fucking music bases out or whatever it does.
Yeah, there's definitely times in the EDZ where I've heard the audio just go to pop. There, I definitely heard it.
Yeah.
It starts doing the orchestral thing, and it just goes into like robotic mode, and it's weird. Yeah, it's weird how it does that.
Yeah,
I think
pretend that it's law based. Oh yeah, that's the Fallen jamming this. Fuck you.
I think a good tester for Bungie will be the faction rallies that start next week.
No, that's a very good segue, Saz. You fucking look at this.
Oh, you know, mate. Give him a permanent spot. Give him a permanent spot on the team.
Violent games are out. Fuck off. We'll get Sazio in.
I don't know. We could play a game with the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Saz is 100% on the money. So this week at Bungie was basically a big spruiking exercise for faction rallies. So the premise of it is that you sell your soul to a faction or pledge allegiance, and the factions will be pit against each other for the winning faction, I believe, to be able to earn a gun. Basically, everyone will be competing against each other to earn a gun. Now, I've seen a few polls online, and given that something like 60% of people are saying that they're going to be Dead Orbit, if you've got your heart set on the new monarchy or future war cult
60.
guns,
60.
good fucking luck.
Fucking 90.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was just...
I've
been with Dead Orbit since fucking Destiny 1 first came out. No, you haven't, mate. You saw the gun. Fuck off.
I haven't. I'll openly admit.
No,
I have though.
What's the gun? What's the gun that everyone wants?
It's
It's
a
a
scout
scout
rifle.
rifle.
It's
does look
fine.
cool.
Like,
I mean,
you guys do what you do, but that's beside the point. You know, like it was something that we called a few weeks ago that it would hopefully be a metagame. It looks like it's a community wide metagame, which is fucking awesome, regardless of who you want to back. I'm going to go all three. I'm going to go one on each character. That's always what I've done. That's what a lot of people have done. It should be good. It should be good. I'm excited.
I've picked up a couple of the faction guns already from Cade's treasure chests. You can actually get them to drop on that.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I've got the new Monarchy scout rifle, and it literally looks like a Nerf sniper rifle. I should say it's got this massive silencer on it. It's not very good, but it looks really cool. And
It looks cool. Shit.
yeah, it's super bad. And I've got a Future War Cult auto rifle, which is actually pretty decent. It looks so ugly. The colors of Future War Cult are disgusting.
They are.
On that gun.
They offend
so
my face. They offend.
They offend everyone.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
let's
saw a
do a
tweet.
quick round the table of who's everyone going to go with. Like, I'm going Dead Orbit because I'm a space emo pirate. But
And you want to pledge your allegiance to fucking Rolf Harris's fucking...
yeah, I mean, can we? Maybe we'll
fucking
talk
younger
about that in
brother.
a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute because I think that's its own fucking section. But I'm going to go Dead Orbit basically because once I saw that the new Monarchy shaders had gold in them, red, white, and gold, I went, no. I just nupped out. I don't want them anymore. I just want red and white. Thank you very much.
To be honest, I'm gonna preview I'm sure you can preview the shaders, right, when the vendors show up. I think I'm gonna preview the shaders, and I think I'll probably make a decision on the shaders alone.
I'd say I'm 99% certain I'm going to be dead orbit, but like, man, I'm going to have a look around regardless. It's no harm in looking, but I couldn't imagine myself being New Monarchy because, granted, you're going to get a sidearm as a reward. So no thanks. I don't really want to get a sidearm.
Yeah, they've got to pitch them up against shit really with that. Hey? Like,
So what is really going to happen? Are they just going to rotate like the best guns so people switch like factions? Because what happens if everyone just is like, yeah, guys, let's just troll everyone and stay on dead orbit forever, and you can't get the other weapons, right?
So are you getting that like Bungie might go, okay, every week we give one faction the clearly best choice of the gun,
yes,
and try and force the entire community to fucking rotate around to get it.
Oh yeah.
I can see that happening, and I can also see what you're talking about happening, Matt, in that people will be like, no, fuck you. You will get this really bad sidearm. That is all that will be available.
Like, you know, that'll be funny. That'll be really funny as a community troll joke that, you know, let's say however long DT goes for, it's like, guess what, guys? Like, once it goes for a couple of months or something and we can't get off dead orbit, people will be like, guys, keep it going. Let's see how long we can keep dead orbit. Like, and then everyone will jump ship because dead orbit will be winning. You have 90% of the player base on dead orbit, and then D3 comes around and guess what? We did it, guys. Dead orbit never lost.
It's a real possibility, but like, because I mean, like, I don't care that much about the fucking guns. And the thing is, too, that if you aren't with that faction, you can buy them. They're just ridiculously expensive. So the faction, you can go and buy the gun, whether or not, like, there's no. I mean, I guess people are going to want to try and change to get the guns and stuff, but I won't. I'll be part of the problem, and I'm happy.
And yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, happy to be part of the problem, right? Like,
yeah, totally.
So wait, okay, so 3 factions, 3 guns. I think it's 50,000 to buy it if you're not part of that faction.
So it's half the possible glimmer cap.
The winning faction, if you're part of the winning faction, you can pick it up for 10,000.
1,000.
1,000, but you could still buy. So let's say Dead Orbit wins the first one because they're going to, and you're part of Dead Orbit. You can pick up the Dead Orbit gun for 1,000, but you could also go and buy the new Monarchy sidearm and whatever Future Warcraft's selling for 50,000. Or are they not even available because they didn't win?
I don't know. I don't think they've even said it. They've literally just said if you win, you get it for 1,000. If you don't win, you have to spend 50. I don't think they've said anything else. So
we don't know what happens.
I can't. I'd be surprised if they lock us out of being able to buy other stuff. To be honest, but you don't know.
Would you be surprised though? Would you be surprised because you had to pledge your allegiance?
Maybe just the single, like the showcase weapon. You might be locked out.
The showcase weapon. I think you're probably locked out because I reckon it's going to be very muchly like what happened in D1, where you had to wear the butt towel of the new Monarchy to get the new Monarchy stuff. You had to wear the butt towel of the fucking blah 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 blah. You know, so the fucking one will probably be locked out. The showcase weapon will probably be locked out. The rest of them will probably be like, yeah, here, spend fucking all your glimmer ever, and I'll see you next week. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it could be a case of that, or you have to spend X amount of legendary shards, or even bright dust even. That might even try and pull that even in
don't
as well.
Fucking go there. Or you can buy in-game weapons with fucking microtransaction currency. Holy shit.
Destiny's becoming pay to win.
Speaking of things in the Destiny universe that are absolutely fucked, Arak Jalal, or whatever his name is, now, he wasn't a character that I particularly liked, and I was dead orbit for 2 solid years of the 3 in Destiny 1. I thought he was a bit of a rock spider, like he might interfere with children, but he bothered me. And I think that whoever is in charge of designing this, they've seen that. They've picked up that there's a bit of a hesitance to even approach Arak Jalal in the fucking hangar. People were like, oh shit, I don't know, just give me the stuff, buddy, and I'll be on my way. And they've doubled down because now he looks like an absolute convicted felon. Did he get done for touching children and he's got out? Like, can anyone fucking shed some light on this?
He went and did time in a fucking Cabal jail because when they invaded, they caught him They caught him.
And they gave him back. That's how fucking creepy he was. They gave him back.
But, I put that Dead Orbit video out fucking months ago now going, like, dude, the guy is fucking just a precursor to Rolf Harris. And I was right. I'll accept no substitutes. It was fucking... Oh, I don't know. The other two look exactly the same. But... it looks like he's been raiding Marilyn Manson's wardrobe. Like, it's just... He's gonna turn up in a fucking latex trench coat, Destiny 3, I guarantee it.
There's candy on the Dead Orbit ship. It says Starbucks.
Turn it up in the grapevine. Just come on. Hello, kitties. Anyway, fuck. It's raining.
That went fucking dark.
I've been waiting. That was the one thing that I really wanted to talk about today. I really want to unload on Iraq Jalal. Fucking guyliner. Go to town.
There's no hope in this system. Also, I'm legally obligated to tell you.
Stay away from schools, Gamma. Just stay away from the schools, buddy. You'll be fucking sweet.
Jesus
so, is anyone
Christ.
else looking through the loot, the little thumbnails of the loot that they put in this week at Bungie? Is anyone else kind of bummed that we're not seeing any new actual armor designs? Just kind of, they're effectively... I mean, look, for argument's sake, the Dead Orbit Titan helmet is the EDZ Titan helmet. It's the same. It's just got a different...
Oh, I haven't looked. Are they not different?
No, they're more or less the same.
No,
they're more or less the same.
So what's the point? The shader. The shader's the only difference.
No, the shade is the only difference from what that they might have branding on them. Like the
the
lines
logo.
of the Future Warcraft.
Oh,
logo,
come
things
on.
Like
Come on, mate. What have they been working on?
I don't know. I mean, that masterpiece of Iraq Jalal looking like a rock spider. I suppose someone spent some time on it.
Fucking...
Let's just make children everywhere uncomfortable with a single piece of art. Anyway.
No, they need
make
to.
it
They need to have that. The art, that's their staple. Their staple is the cool armor and gear, the loot. The loot is a staple for Destiny 2. How can they not have different armor for the classes?
I know, and it's I looked through and I sort of thought it, because the new Monarchy one, I was originally looking at that, and it's the real like medieval knight looking one. Admittedly, I haven't looked at any other class because I've got 2 consoles, 2 characters, and they're both Titans, so I don't really give a fuck. But I was kind of like, it was a bit underwhelming. I know that there are like crossover between like. There are a couple of armor pieces that are basically the same already, like the Crucible ones, and then there's like the more generic variety, like Devastation Complex and the Crucible Plate are functionally the same. They just have different sort of stickers on them or whatever. I just thought it was a bit of a... Like, I kind of took some of I don't know, I guess I'm looking forward to it less now. I mean, guns are important, don't get me wrong. The
loot pool in general is a lot smaller, right? Like, the overall loot pool is I don't know if that... Maybe that's intentional because they really wanted to test a couple of concepts and balance and that kind of thing. But, I mean, like, aesthetics of armor could always be different.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're it doesn't affect an in-game function beyond people looking at you and you being a bigger target, maybe by a little bit, but it makes no difference. Hitboxes are the same. Don't know. I'd like to, what I'd like to know? I'd like to be able to compare the size of the loot pool now to the size of the Destiny 1 vanilla loot pool. I don't know if anyone out there has it, but if you've got any information on it, fucking tweet it at me, because I would, just out of interest's sake, I would like to know whether we're talking about the same size, smaller size, bigger size, whatever. Because I think maybe part of the problem is that we've come from a fucking huge loot pool at the end of Destiny 3, and this seems very restrictive. That, and I can't get a helmet that I really like, so I'm going to complain about it.
It's the loot is very subpar, and I wholeheartedly agree with what someone said in the chat there before. There will be a ton of loot, and I'm yet to see it. I'm yet to see a ton of loot because I've been getting the same fucking weapons across all 3 characters the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like
same exotics as well.
It's kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating.
Even exotic engrams are bugged because when you can look at when you did a preview for the exotic engrams, there's guns that potentially I could earn that already says already added collection, and I've not had it. So I'm already restricted to getting it even before I even get a chance of getting it because the game is telling me I've already owned it. So even the engrams are bugged.
Bug things too. Yeah, you know, like also the I'm not sure if it's a bug or a glitch or if it's just the way that they intended to have it, but excuse me, the fact that I started my first character as a warlock because we did the playthrough together, Matt, Log, and I, and I got the Lunafaction boots. Shut your hole for cocks. I got the Lunafaction boots on my first 3 exotics with the Lunafaction boots.
That's pretty cool.
Sorry, that's like on the first 4, like 3 of the first 4 with the Lunafaction boots. Like that was frustrating.
I've got
I know someone who's gotten the luck. Yeah, so Log's got 4 Master of the Quiet Ones. I know someone who literally got 6 pairs of lucky pants on the first exotics.
Is that the actual name of an exotic?
That is a name of a fucking hunter leg piece.
Are they even trying? Lucky pants? It sounds like...
Look,
I don't know. I mean, it was worth it for the Iraq Jalal masterpiece, but moving on. I don't know. I'm kind of underwhelmed by it. We've really talked some negatives tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guys, we actually like Destiny 2 too. You know, we actually
like the game. That's what I'm like. Wow, I'm just venting. It's a Sunday night in Australia, and we're all like getting ready to start the week. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I'm not real happy. So if you've got any shit you want to see spoke, hit me with it now because I'll go right in.
It's like your favorite son who loses the like the grand final, and you're like, I love you, but you did shit, So I sort of. Are you
talking about that silly game where they wear tight shorts and they fucking dance around the football pitch?
Hey
and
mate,
all that sort of
look,
thing?
I don't even play.
No.
Half the audience doesn't even fucking know what Australian rules is anyway. All right, so let's move off that.
So you're saying that if your child, right, Matt, this is just your future child, you don't know children,
no.
As it stands, that you know of anyway. Anyway, I just threw that in there just to, people be scared,
Throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Ding.
Danny, don't watch this podcast. Anyway, on the counter. But is that a fair thing? They tried their hardest in a grand final and lose, and you're a bit shit. Is that cool?
Well, I mean, you can on the outside, you can not. You can tell them, I'm really proud of you, but inside you're saying, I'm fucking disappointed. And today, that's all we've said, and that's fine. I still love you.
You know what, though? Like, as much as we speak ill of it, we also have a very, and this is the thing that people on Reddit, Twitter, fucking MySpace, whatever the fuck you want, they literally fucking, I'm an old man, shut your mouth.
MySpace.
Pornhub.
But people
are
on
very IRC chat somewhere.
Fuck off.
Yahoo chat.
Fucking MSN, LinkedIn.
AOL.
People on AOL online. There's business people on LinkedIn complaining.
Page me.
It's Chinese people on fucking Weibo, whatever it's called. There we go. Anyway.
But, people have been complaining, and all they've been doing is complain.
Oh, God. You know what we should talk about now? Because we're at the end. We're at the end, and we should just all put our decency aside and talk about the fucking Kotaku article of I have a child and I'm too busy to play Destiny.
Oh, get lost that. Yeah.
I got fucking 2 and I do alright.
I haven't been able to get to the end of the fucking Destiny 2 story and get leveled up because I have a kid. I have 2. Log has 2. Matt has a dog. Sazio has children. Fucking pull your fucking neck in. You are literally. This is the same person. This is the same fucking, not the same person, but this is one of the same fucking quality of writers that they have at Kotaku and Polygon and all that sort of thing, that wrote that the Karnstein gauntlets or whatever the fucking gauntlets were about the racism, the fucking Keckenstein fucking church.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. Like it means fuck all to me. But the people, these are the same people who said Bungie snuck in a racist symbol into their game when the fucking those idiot racist bastard church mongering idiots fucking had only been around 3 months, and Destiny 2 had been around for God knows how long. If you're going to write an article, if you're sitting in this stream, which probably not, or you're sitting in the YouTube, which probably not, but that's fine, I'm going to say it anyway. If you're fucking doing it, stop it. Fucking stop.
I'll put you with a comb. You get this comb up your ass sideways. Fucking stop it. No, I mean, I didn't even make it to the end of the fucking article. Like, I kind of thought, this is a satire piece for the first fucking... You know, I read a bit of it, I'm like, this is someone taking the piss, surely. And then it kept going, and I'm like... And then I backed out of it, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and people were just raging about it. But at the end of the day...
How does that get through? How does it get through?
I got up to the bit where she was complaining that Xur only comes for fucking 40% of the week. Oh, I can't make someone to get on there. I can't make 2 minutes to get on, find a guy that's clearly marked on the map and buy fucking something that takes literally 3 minutes. I mean, like, I'll be honest. I have come home with an absolute gutful of piss, shit-faced, and gone, Xur will be gone, and managed to get on and do it and find the fucker in Destiny 1. If I can do that at that point, you can do it with kids. Just when your kids are asleep, just with the console, with the controller. Like,
the person that wrote that article must want the game to be spoon-fed to them. Seriously, have a word. I mean, you literally turn it on. I mean, it's that sense of entitlement. It's like, I have got this to do. So Bungie, you do all the work for me and give me everything I want, and I don't have to work for it. No. Sorry, but no.
This is the caliber of fucking reviewers, of article writers and reviewers on the internet. I'm sorry, Sazio. Yeah. Like, I know that you said that you do the creative writing thing, and I will one day, when you write a piece that is not telling people that I'm a good person or something like that, because you've loud and out lying. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see these type of people are fucking taking the piss out of what is a legitimate fucking trade of writing and reviewing.
As a qualified writer, I'm actually appalled by the lack of journalism some people write nowadays, especially in video games. It's not even journalism to me. It's dirt sheet, rag stuff that I would find on the bottom of my shoe. That's how bad some of the journalism is now. Yeah. Because all it is sensationalism.
Saz, can we give you some homework? Just a little bit. When you've got time, there's no rush. But can you write an absolute masterpiece of a troll article? Like we'll think up something that you can complain about that will trigger the fucking world. And make up a pseudonym, Gary, someone or other. Just get it out. Arak Jalal, get a name out there. Just fucking. I just want to. Because part of me, when I see these things, I don't know, you won't see me going, oh, this fucking dumb bitch. Because I'm like, well, come on, man. Of course
Can we please make, a rebuttal video to this I don't have time. And what we'll do is cut together, 4 exotic engrams dropping and literally just log in and, shoot one enemy and then just ping, 4 or 5 exotics that all come up.
I swear to God, I turned the PlayStation on last night. Literally within 5 minutes, I jumped straight into the EDZ. I went to a public event that had already been going. I swear to God. And I literally didn't shoot a single bullet. Turned up, it was the Glimmer Extraction one, I think. Literally turned up, stood at the Glimmer Extraction and got an exotic. I didn't even shoot a single bullet. That's how easy
That's
it
what I'm
is.
talking about.
But you had to
cap
walk
that.
there, man. You had to walk there, and that's time that this young lady couldn't spend because she's too busy. Look, this is going to come across as harsh, but if it's that hard, just, there's adoption agencies out there. You can really just go. You don't need to have kids. You can get rid of them if you really need to play Destiny that bad.
You know what? That's probably the fucking smartest thing I've heard said about that stupid. I'm not going to talk ill about the person. I'm going to talk ill about her fucking professional integrity.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk ill about her fucking writing capability. Stop.
It's like Matt said though. It's like, how did that get approved? The editor must be held accountable as well, surely.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. If you like, can you imagine being an editor and having a journalist pitch that to you? I'm going to have a whinging article about how Destiny's too hard because I've got a newborn baby. Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Oh, that's a real good idea. That one. Yeah, righto, Gary.
How about you play the game and do a fucking review, like a proper review with critique?
Yeah. You know what? Look, we've managed to trigger Matt. We're doing really well. I like Darwin's idea. You can trade your kids in for silver, for glimmer and stuff. You can get special unlockable fucking shaders to remind you of the children that you neglected to play Destiny. You know what? If you really want to just play Destiny, keep your legs shut. You won't have these fucking problems. Oh, please, no one clip that. Fucking hell.
No.
Oh.
That's that point in time. It's like, I wish I fucking shut my mouth.
Yeah, no.
Until
there's not much that comes out of my mouth on here that I'm not willing to fucking die by, but it is what it is.
All right.
We normally give this warning to all guests, man, but you usually lose subscribers and followers from being on the podcast. The thing is, I would actually be about 500,000 subs, but the podcast has really held me back lately.
It's just like a backpack full of Australian lead. It will stop you from achieving your goals.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining us live on the Twitch stream tonight. I'd like to thank Sazio for coming on and being fucking amazing. He is an incredible individual. I have all the time in the world for him. You guys should too, so make sure you go and check him out at twitch.tv/Sazio1984. He's a really, really good streamer, plays Destiny, plays GTA and a whole bunch of other things. So make sure you go and check him out. And if you're listening on the podcast, to the podcast, thank you very much for listening on SoundCloud. Is it, Log?
Yeah, we're actually everywhere pretty much, man. So basically I upload to SoundCloud and it gets distributed by RSS to everywhere else. So if you're on iTunes, you know what, if you're out somewhere that, it's a bit left of center, I think it goes to Podbean and stuff like that, but just tweet us. Tell us where you come from. Tell us where you listen to the show, and that's good info for us. We like to know where things are going too, because it's audio is hard to track, man. It's hard to track how many people listen and stuff like that. So it's a shit of a thing.
Like I said, guys, I'd like to say massive thanks to Sazio and Wild Thing for what they've done with the DCC as well. They've done really, really good stuff. And if you have a chance, go and check both of them out. Wild Thing is twitter.com/WildThingYT. Sazio is Sazio1984 on Twitter. So search them both. T-Sazio1984. He's a good bloke. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we had Polar on the podcast last week. Now, she talked about anxiety gaming and raising money for anxiety gaming. She is currently in the midst of her 36 to 48-hour stream. I think she may have stuffed the times up at some point or other. But looking at the live tracker right now, she has currently raised $4,709 between her, Manganator, Gardro, Tamsin. If I've missed any other streamers, I do apologise. But
is that US or pounds? Is that pounds?
That's US. That's US.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
So, what we're going to do? Who's carrying the torch for that at the moment?
That is Polar right now.
Righto.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the Twitch stream, if you would like to come and join us on a G'day raid, that'd be very muchly appreciated. Jump in, say G'day a lot, tell her that she's awesome, that sort of thing.
Terrible at this part of this.
And guys, make sure you go and check out the DCC and Sazio and Wild Thing. You guys have been amazing. He's been Log, he's been Matt, he's been Sazio, and we're the fucking D to you. Until next week, we'll catch us later on.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll find you.
Do you know
Just wait for
that tweet, Matt, about that being basically Iraq Jalal dialogue? That's canon. That's. I'm very sorry. I cannot remember who it was that said it, but
someone tweeted that.
Yes,
that's what. Yeah.
Yes, he will definitely say that. I'll find you, fucking. If your PSN account is registered to child friendly, he will find you. Anyway, let's move on. Right, we're gonna raid into Polar, so I'll host that now. But it's been a pleasure. Sorry, Sloth's already done this one off. So anyway, let's go.
Oh, sorry. See you guys. Bye.
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 See you, Saz. Bye.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye.